Okay, hey YouTube, Todd here again. Another installment of Panzer General 2. This time a playthrough of the very first scenario, or the very first battle, which is, it's just clicked the wrong thing, which is the Spanish, the Blitzkrieg Campaign and the Spanish Civil War. I'm going to skip through all the like commentary and setup and all that just to save a little bit of time on the video.
Ah, good day. How can I help?
Okay, so here's the setup. This is late 1938. You're helping, I think it's the Spanish nationalists overthrow the Federalists, I suppose. I've already gone through gameplay in my first video, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with overall strategy. Here are my core units with the black numbers. The white numbers are my auxiliary units. Let me go to the strategic map and show you. Here they are. I don't have any air units, very inexperienced units, so you kind of got to be careful. I'm basically going to use my auxiliary units to weaken as much as possible the enemy. Try to finish them off with my core units to gain experience. This battle group is going to, first of all, take this objective, then shoot down this road that parallels the river. I'm going to send one unit a little bit to the north and then to the south to pick up these secondary objectives. Once I get to this objective, I'll send another unit over here, my recon unit, to pick these up and then cross the river and rejoin the main battle group here, which will continue through the mountain pass, take this city. At the same time, the few units I have here, these are Spanish units, will take this objective. We'll already have this objective. This objective, I'll send one of them here to pick up this objective, due south alongside the river. They should join about the same time with my main battle group for the final assault. It's 12 turns for a brilliant victory. I should be in position 2 or 3 turns before that. I will not take it early. I'll get to that in the playthrough. But I'll wait until my 12th turn to finally finish it off and take this objective. All right, let us go back. I do want to requisition a unit. I have 500 prestige, and I want to get a tactical bomber, a Stuka, which I will use from the start. Let's get back out of that. A deployment in any of these 3 squares, it doesn't matter. And before I get to that, my main battle group, I like to do the kind of auxiliary attack with artillery always first when in range. Super successful. I'll take the city here. I see there's another enemy unit there. I'll move this unit up. I'm only going to move this artillery. It's not going to be in range next turn, but if I move it here, this enemy can see it, and he has artillery right here that I can't see. I already know because I've played the game quite a bit. Okay, here I do apologize for the background noise. 3 artillery units. I want to break through this as quickly as possible. All right. This artillery can engage the enemy artillery, so I'm going to hit that unit. Not terribly effective. Can I use my artillery before? Let me switch to air mode for my Stuka. Before I use my aircraft, because my aircraft is inexperienced. And not terribly effective. Alright, so now I need to get this guy weakened. I've got this artillery weakened and or suppressed. So that I should be able to move in with my ground units. That one was not awesome. I like to weaken these guys enough where my tank can come through and get maybe some overrun attacks. Maybe. Like to be able to clear out both of those infantry units with that tank, but just did not have the mobility. Wow, that's a stubborn piece of artillery. Okay, then I'll cycle, let's see. And there's nothing else I want to move, so we'll end and watch his turn. Okay. Now I still can't see this artillery. He is out of range of my artillery. To see it, I just need to move in spotting range, which I will. Okay. You see if I try to attack now, not the most effective. So I'm going to use my Stuka. And just a quick check on experience, yeah. And experience pretty quickly, already up to 35. Now if I try to tap my ground unit, much more effective. Didn't lose any, which is great. I don't think that unit will be able to get there. Okay, so he's weakened pretty heavily. Won't be able to take that city this turn, but definitely take it next turn. Alright, here we should be, he is re-strengthened and maybe out of range. Let's see. Alright, so this artillery is out of range of everything. This artillery can hit here. This artillery, super effective. I do like to get my core units if I can the final kill. Let's see if my tank. Not effective. Not effective. And get another overlay. This Pioneer I'm going to use on the next two objectives heavily. Get him on down there. Tank, not terribly critical. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Next turn we'll take that objective, that city. We'll work on taking this city out to cross this river, and then keeping a unit back to take these other two. Main force will drive parallel to the river to take this objective, and my secondary force on the other side of the river to meet at this fork in the road. Okay. He doesn't attack or move within your spotting range. You can't really see what he does, what the computer does. All right, we need to take this city. We will with this unit. And continue this unit, since he's weakened, is going to take this city. It'll take him a couple of turns to get there, then cross the river and meet down here for support from the west, taking this city. Here we'll press forward. The trucked units can move fastest, so with artillery. And I want to take these cities, these secondary cities, as quickly as possible, because your final prestige points are based on how long you hold them. So I kind of get a little bonus. Here we'll move our Stuka, probably a tank unit here. Yes, and we'll in case he gets any bright ideas to move out of there and go on the offensive at full strength, we'll go ahead and give him a little bit of a weakness. Yeah, and always use this next, because I probably would have forgotten that infantry unit. So, and we'll see what he does. And we'll continue. All right, this move here can be risky, because even though there's not a unit here, it's his city. He can see any unit in an adjacent hex. So I don't think he has anything close enough. This tank can't get over there. But in other scenarios, that could be somewhat risky. So let's see if we can take this objective. Yeah, we're almost up to 100 experience points on this air unit. We'll go ahead and send it back for. You don't have to worry about fuel in this game, but you do have to worry about ammo, so to rearm. Okay. Super effective. And then compare that to this infantry at only 9 points. It started at 0. So, let's see. All right, so that infantry can get all the way up here. Let's see, I'm going to send this recon unit. Don't want to get in the way. So let's cut through the woods. Okay, everything's looking pretty good so far. Okay, notice this too, the weather. It's now turned to overcast. That is going to affect my spotting range and will affect my aircraft and artillery and their effectiveness. Doesn't affect range, but I can't see as well, so that kind of makes sense. All right. Another city. Another city. This is also affecting the AI's ability to purchase new units, etc. Okay, I need to send this unit down here. Kind of trying to put that artillery where it is because I want it over in these mountains. But it also cuts his spotting in half. And I definitely want to get this this airfield. Okay, this turn. Okay, now the weather's turned totally south. It's raining. My aircraft is useless except for spotting. And find his artillery unit. Recon units can move like that, by the way. Kind of segmented, which is beneficial. Take care of our peripheral stuff first. Alright, so he's gone on the offensive. He's severely damaged this. This is one of my core units. Even though I'm probably going to disband it in the next scenario, I don't want to lose it. That will hurt my prestige. But he's also opened himself up, as you often do in an attack. So we'll see if we can make him pay. Pull him back out of the way. Who? Okay, so I've got one army unit through this little pass. That's not where I want this artillery unit. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, now I see where that artillery piece is. I missed that the first time. It's here. It's raining, so my aircraft can't do anything. I'll just kind of hover over here to see what his force deployment is. Okay, that did weaken him a good bit. Computer took a chance, I suppose. Yeah, I got that city. Didn't I? Yeah, I did. Because the flag didn't change. Okay, now for the big matter at hand. See, this artillery covers any attack I try to make, so need to do something with it to weaken it. even my armor is not great. And I need to get my artillery in better range. So now, if it weren't raining, he would be able to see it here, but it is raining. This is a narrow little pass, which is hard to maneuver through, plus with the mountains. Okay, that's why you don't do that. Now that's an interesting option. I could risk it. This weakened infantry unit can actually move down there by truck and take that city, but I'll probably lose it on the next turn. My tank can get over there, however, but it's not real strong. Early German tanks suck, by the way, including this 2A, and it'll be fighting in a city, but it will have some artillery help. Let's try that. All right, let's see how that works. Not too good. Okay, but we said the tank did not perish. All right, and the weather has broken. So, yeah, learn from that mistake. So let's work on this artillery unit. Work on getting this airstrip. If I hadn't weakened my tank, he could come in and probably do pretty well and clean that up. But we're going to have to withdraw him. And you don't want to, you can, there is an option for replacements, but don't do this during battle. They're not elite replacements. It'll weaken the effectiveness and it costs you prestige. Just pull the unit back at the end of the scenario. Before you start the next one, you'll get replaced, so no need to do that during the game. All these artillery units are out of range of everything. I've already fired with that one. Gonna need to withdraw that one. And that one. To make it tough, taking everything else with what, 4 infantry units. hard on myself. Okay. All right. Keep working on the artillery unit. That's crucial. The bad thing about this little 1A, the 2A is crappy, but the 1A is even crappier because it holds almost no ammo. To resupply it, now it has 2 shells. I'm trying to start working on moving forward. Now we're getting most of our infantry in play. And we may even need these weakened. He's out of fuel, so you can supply. And he's fully supplied. So just in case. And I'm going to move this air unit just kind of hovering over this strip to lessen his ability to reinforce it, resupply it. Okay, only 3 turns left, so getting tight. And this scenario is always tight. I'm going to move my peripherals. Really, this is the only one. Need to get this strip. And my artillery's out of ammo. I don't think these can reach it. Let's see how the aircraft does. See that these tanks are just kind of pathetic, really. Finally got the airstrip. Now the idea here, if you surround every adjacent hex, then he can't purchase additional units to make it harder for you to complete your mission. So that's really not going to do anything. We'll leave the air unit there to resupply. And of course, we can't get another unit down there, just in case we need them. That's about all we can do. All right, 2 turns left. He doesn't have any more prestige to be able to continue his defense, so we'll weaken and supply, and let me get to you. So right here we're at 1080. We'll wait and kind of milk that a little bit to get our prestige up. Prestige is critical. It's that critical in this game. Even a couple hundred extra points a scenario, or even 100 points. But we will weaken. This one's out of range, so we'll move it. That's really all we can do. I want to make sure and get a unit in every adjacent hex. Try to keep your armored, even though it's going against a unit in a city. It's going to be better for it defensively if it's in a clear hex as opposed to a city or forest or any other kind of hex. So we'll keep it there. Now here I will hover over this unit. I don't know if I should attack. I don't want to destroy it. Okay, well up over almost 150 points now. You see now as a battle honor. So, but more to keep it from being re-strengthened. So, and I have totally surrounded. Let's see what we're still at 1080. In turn. All right, last turn for brilliant victory, which is definitely what I want in this battle. All right, so you can do nothing. Now, even though I haven't done anything, I'm up to 1110. So 1080 to 1110. Wow, that's 30 points, but it can and will make a difference in the game. All my secondary objectives are taken, so now the only thing to do is take the city. Here's where your save game function comes in. Okay, let me see. All right, he's pretty weak at a 5. So I want to be careful here, like before every attack. I want to save because I want to make sure I get a prototype unit. And if the game screws me out of a prototype unit, I can go back and reopen it and replay that turn. So save. We'll just call it in progress. Okay. So that was pretty effective. The only unit I'm going to keep out of all my core units is this one. It's going to be a real pain to get him up there to attack. So, Could do it. He's decent on experience for now. So I'll probably just go with one of these other ones. But I'm going to save so I don't have to replay that. Okay, and then this should win the battle. Okay, there's my brilliant victory, and I should be awarded the prototype unit for the next battle.
My commendations, Herr General. Herr General, you must break through.
And there we have it. When you play the game, by all means, listen to all those setups and watch the graphics and all just for time. I'm not going to do that here. And my prototype unit is a 4D tank. This was the kind of the workhorse. This was Germany's Sherman, I suppose. Good tank. Getting it free is huge, especially in limited prestige. And that's what I want. You may get we play it the exact same thing again. The algorithm may give me an artillery piece or an anti-tank piece, but this is the one I want. So we'll check. Okay, this gives you a list of other tanks that are available. And then we'll look at our prestige. All right, so 1580 is where we are. And we can't even buy that 4D tank. The best tank that's available really is this 4C or the 3E. And they're 156 to 180 prestige, respectively. The Panzer 38, that I believe it and the 35 are actually Polish tanks, maybe, that Germany kind of captured and reverse engineered, so they're not even really German tanks. And they're not that good. And the 4C is not really all that good. It's decent against infantry, but it has low initiative, kind of crappy armor. The 3E is much better against other armor, but it's weak against infantry. The 4D is great to have. So I'm going to exit out of this screen, and I'm going to save before I do anything. So this is my army. I have a little crappy 2A, the 4D I was just awarded. A decent artillery piece, but a little short on range. Or a little short on firepower. We're going to upgrade it. The rest of them, except for my engineers, my Pioneer unit, we're going to disband. So the only thing I'm going to keep is the 40 I was just awarded, Pioneer unit, and my aircraft. And the rest we're going to disband and buy new, better equipment. You save prestige doing that as opposed to upgrading when you're talking about inexperienced units. So I'm going to save. This is the Poland campaign. I always put a little note down here so I know where I am. Let's see, today is what is today? 7th, 6th. And this is always before any upgrades, so it's saved. And then I'll exit and I'll show you the Poland scenario, which is a bit longer. Please remember, like, share, subscribe. Any questions or comments, leave below. I'll leave links to Good Old Games and the printed version of the strategy walkthrough, which I'll deviate from a bit, but find your happy medium. And I guess that's it. Thanks, guys. See you soon.